Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening from whatever part of the world you're tuning in from. My name is Tracy Nauber, and I am your English expert for the IELTS exam. I'm a postgraduate student at the School of Education in Trinity Western University, Canada, and I'm en route to a PhD in English. My academic training is on TESOL, that's teaching English to speakers of other languages just like you. I used to mark the IELTS exam at the British Council, and my daily nuggets are designed to tell you some of the things that I failed candidates for while I marked the IELTS exam. This week, as you know, I'm focusing on the listening module, and today I'll be helping you understand word counts. Now, word counts are tricky because there's a different way in which we measure your word counts during the listening module. I always mention in my videos that you need to be paying attention to the instructions. Aside paying attention to the instructions, maybe I need to share some of the secrets with you on how I would grade the exams. I do recall that our training as markers, as the IELTS markers, involved us going through layers and layers of documents that helped us to understand what the instructions were and what we should be watching out for candidates when we look at the answer sheets that you would submit to us at the end of your IELTS exams. So now, for instance, if we say use 3 words to answer a question in the listening module, we mean that you should use 3 words. Sometimes with the English language, you recognize that 3 words can communicate one semantic meaning, and 1 word can communicate that same semantic meaning. However, when we say use 1 word to communicate the meaning, keep it at 1 word. When we say use 3 words, keep it at 3 words. Or when we say use 2 words, keep it at 2 words. I'll give you an example. The question is asking you, where is the orange? When you were listening to the audio regarding the communication between the 2 people who were discussing the orange, the first person might have mentioned that the orange is under the table. Now, when you want to write your answer, it's easy for you to just put the orange, where is the orange, and then you just say table. Table doesn't quite communicate the semantic essence of that whole answer and question session. When you say under the table, it means that the orange is in a specific place that is related to the table. If you don't say under the table, then we could translate it to mean that you're saying the orange is on top of the table, you're saying the orange is beside the table, or you're saying the orange is suspended above the table. But when you say the orange is under the table, as is said during the conversation that you had listened to in your listening module, then you are communicating the exact semantic meaning we want. Because when you test for the IELTS exam and we give you a listening module to understand, what we want you to do is to help us know if you understand how to listen out for communication in a social setting. For example, in an interactive setting, discussing an orange. So if you tell us just table, we assume that you don't understand the social context in which that communication exchange happened. But if you tell us under the table, then we know that you understand the particular context in which that communication exchange happened. Now, when we say no more than 1 word, what we mean is just use 1 word. We are saying do not use anything above 1 word. So 1 word will mean table. You can then just say, where's the orange table? And then that's fine because we've asked you to use 1 word. But like I keep on hammering in my videos, you want to focus clearly on your instructions. I cannot flog that enough. See, if we say use more than 1 word, what we mean is you can use 2 words, you can use 3 words, you can use 4 words, or even 5 words, depending on the number of spaces that your sheet can accommodate. So I remember that the sheet was, like a 1 space line, and then you probably can get in only a maximum of 5 to 7 words in that space, like if you look at how the answer sheet for the listening module is designed. So when we say that you can use more than 1 word, it means that we're not giving you a word limit. If you want to make yours 5 words and still communicate the semantic essence, by all means, go ahead. If you want to use 2 words, it's still fine. If you want to use 3 or 4 words, it's still fine. In essence, as a marker, when I come into your script, I would mark you correctly for using 2 words, 3 words, 4, or even 5 words, because the instruction said use more than 1 word. So whatever your script can accommodate, that's exactly what she should be doing. Another tricky one, which you guys who write the IELTS exam don't know, is there's a different way in which we do word counts when it comes to numbers, to dates, and to time. I'll give you an example. If we say 1 word, write 30,000 in 1 word. If you write 30000, that's 1 word. If you write 30,000, that's THIRTY space THOUSAND, we would grade that as 2 words. So if you didn't write it in the first way that I said, and you wrote it in the second way, I would fail you. But if you wrote it in the first way, I'll calculate that as 1 word, because in that case, the number is written in digits. And when you write a number in digits, it's considered 1 word for a marker like me. But if you write the number in words, then it's considered 2 words or more, depending on how many digits you're trying to describe with the alphabets. So you want to pay attention to that. Also, another example is 55. So if you write 55, like 2 fives placed together, juxtaposed, then that's 1 word, and I'll grade you correctly for that. But if you write 55 in words, that's FIFTY space FIVE, I would fail you, honey bunny, because you did not pay attention to the instructions with the word count. Then we come to time. If the time that the bus leaves the station in the conversation that you heard during the listening audio is 9:30 a.m. If you write the time as 9, and then you have your column, and then 30, and then AM. Now, that is considered 1 word. If you notice, I did not say that there's a space between the 30 digit and the AM. Everything is written together when you write time. I noticed that some candidates would often make that mistake. You separate the digits and the alphabets when you write time. Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, do not ever do that with the IELTS exam. You write it together as 1 word, because we're concentrating on grading that as 1 word, because you're talking about the time as it pertains to the IELTS exam, or the English language rather. And you notice, you have to remember that each time you write time, you should always put it in that way. There are some candidates who will write time in a different way, so they can write 4 o'clock. So you have 4 as a digit, you have an apostrophe on top. No, you have 4 as a digit, you have O, then you have an apostrophe, that's alphabet O, you have an apostrophe, and then you have clock, CLOCK. That's not 1 word, that's because there's a space in between both words. There's a space after 4, there's a space in between the apostrophe, and there's also a space before you have clock. So you have 2 spaces in between that one, and then we cannot consider it as 1 word. Another example that I'll give you is how to write the date. So today's date is the 22nd of October, 2020. And if you write your date as 22/10/2020, all in digits, that's 1 word. However, if you write your date as 22, and then you have the superscript with ND, and then you have a space, and you have October written out in full, that's OCTOBER, we will consider that as 2 words. So you need to be paying attention to how we're telling you to write the date with that particular listening module. Are we asking you to use 1 word, and then you write it all in digits, and have it separated by a slash or by a dot? By a dot, I mean 22.1010.2020. So you need to be paying attention to what exactly it is we're telling you to do, and then based on that, you are able to ace the IELTS exam. The IELTS is not as tricky as it seems. It's pretty awesome, I think, because I spent time marking it. And I know that with my nuggets, you can do well, because I'm just helping you navigate some of the nitty-gritty of the IELTS exam. Again, thank you so much for tuning in to my channel today. I had fun making this video. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow. And don't forget that we are social. We're English expert for IELTS everywhere on social media. So please follow us, and please remember to leave your comments down there so that we can take up topics that you want us to discuss. Again, enjoy the rest of your day, and ciao for now.